Key financial deal to combat climate change. At COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, the United Nations adopted a landmark deal to mobilize $300 billion annually to aid developing nations in their fight against climate change. This funding aims to transition from fossil fuels, adapt to warming, and address climate-induced damages. While it's a step up from the expiring $100 billion deal of 2009, it falls short of the $1.3 trillion sought by poorer nations, fueling dissatisfaction among delegates. Discontent among developing nations. Many developing countries, led by India, expressed outrage over the deal's inadequacy and the process by which it was adopted. Negotiators criticized the amount as insufficient and the timeline, 2035, as too distant. Nigeria's climate chief called the deal an insult, while Malawi expressed reservations. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called for more ambition, describing the agreement as a foundational step toward larger commitments. Mixed reactions from global stakeholders. The European Union and Ireland welcomed the agreement as progress amidst challenging global circumstances, with EU representatives calling it the start of a new era in climate finance. Critics, however, were skeptical. Activists disrupted speeches, denouncing the deal as inadequate. Meanwhile, officials emphasized that additional funding from private and multilateral sources would be crucial to meet the full financial needs for climate action. Carbon markets and controversy. The adoption of Article 6, which establishes carbon trading markets, marked another significant outcome of COP29. Proponents argue these markets could generate $250 billion annually in climate aid. However, critics warn of loopholes and misuse, with some labeling it a climate scam. Experts argue that the mechanisms may allow major polluters to continue emissions, undermining efforts to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Looking ahead to COP30 in Brazil. As the temporary COP29 venue is dismantled, focus shifts to next year's climate talks in Belém, Brazil. With rising dissatisfaction and challenges ahead, leaders hope to build on the $300 billion deal and refine mechanisms like carbon markets to achieve more ambitious and equitable climate action. Observers are optimistic that Brazil's presidency could bring fresh momentum to global climate negotiations.